Let's do a second example for graphing inequalities. This time our pizzas are going to cost $15 a piece and a 6-pack of soda will cost $4 a piece. We're going to let X still represent pizzas and Y represent 6 packs of soda. So to write the inequality for the number of pizzas we can purchase, we start with the idea that we can't purchase a negative amount, so 0 is less than or equal to, well, our pizzas cost $15 each, so 15x is less than or equal to our $100 that we have to spend. Now we're going to have to get our x alone, divide everything by 15, so we'll have 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to, use our calculator, 100 over 15, turn that into a mixed number, 6 2/3. Well, I have a problem. Am I allowed to buy 2/3 of a pizza? No, the rules in the book were we could only buy whole pizzas. So really, the most I can buy is 6 pizzas. Next, let's write the inequality for the 6 packs of soda. Again, I can't buy a negative quantity, so I'll start with 0. This time, the 6 packs of soda are $4 each. So this time, the 6 packs of sodas were $4 each, so I write 0 is less than or equal to 4y is less than or equal to 100. I need to divide everything by 4, so 0 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 100 divided by 4 is 25, which is fine. I'm allowed to buy whole numbers of 6 packs of soda. And then finally we need to do an inequality that represents the total numbers of pizzas and 6 packs. So 15x plus 4y has to be less than or equal to 100. Again, if I want to write this in slope-intercept form, 4y will be less than or equal to negative 15x plus 100. Divide all 3 pieces by 4. And y is less than or equal to negative 15/4 x plus 25. Personally, I think that's a very difficult way to graph it, so let's figure out our intercepts. If I plug in a 0 for x, 4y to 100, that makes the y 25. Plug in 0 here, makes the x 6 2/3. So there's my intercepts for the total cost. Here's a set of axes, and the constraints again that we need to graph are that 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 6. That's the number of pizzas I could buy for $100. 0 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 25. That's the number of 6 packs of sodas we say we could buy for $100. And then my third constraint. In slope-intercept form, it became y is less than or equal to negative 15/4 x plus 25, but it'll be much easier to graph if we use the intercepts of 0, 25, 6 2/3, 0. Remember, when I have an x with no y, that makes a vertical line. So these two constraints are both going to be vertical lines. X equals 0 is on the axis, x equals 6 could be here, and I would be shading in between them. A y with no x is a horizontal line. So I'm going to have a horizontal line at y equals 0, which is the x-axis, and I'll need to move up and do the line y equals 25, which could be up here, and I would shade in between those lines, which means from these 4 constraints we're creating a rectangle. Then we'll add in our diagonal constraint. So here's what my graph looks like so far, with my 2 vertical lines, my 2 horizontal lines, and remember, if I were to shade right now, I would shade this rectangular region. Now let's put in our diagonal constraint. 0, 25 would be right here, this point of intersection. 6 2/3, 0, though, is going to lie somewhere out here. Let's see what we get. Notice we get this strange quadrilateral. Now our last step, of course, is to label our corner points. And we can start here at the origin. That's an easy one, 0, 0. Next we can come to this corner point, which is an easy one. It's at 6, 0. Then we could move up and name this one. Now so far, all I know is that the x value is 6. I'm going to have to come back and do some arithmetic to figure out my y value. up here, of course, is the point 0, 25. Now let's figure out this y value. This point is lying on the blue diagonal line. Let's go to the constraint and plug in a value of 6 for x. We'll just leave it as an equal sign for this math. Let's see. I don't feel like trying to do that in my head. So, get a fraction. I need negative 15 over 4 multiplied by 6. And then I need to add 25. 2 1/2. So my y value is at 2 1/2. And there are all my corner points.